Morning everyone, how are we all today? Hope everyone's doing well as per usual. Today it's a nice-ish day out there. It's actually quite bright and quite warm, which is a bit disconcerting, but I'm sure we'll be fine. I am going to hand CVs in to the places that I have to hand CVs into, the places that I've found that are looking for work. I've sent them my CVs via email, and now I'm gonna physically send them one. But before I do, I need to sort this out. I don't eat bananas. I don't know a whole lot about bananas, okay? But I'm fairly certain, in all my knowledge, that bananas shouldn't leak. That is worrying, I suppose. I don't think they should do that, so I might have to tidy that up and probably throw those bananas away, actually, if they're leaking. Oh, God, I really hate bananas, and I can imagine that I'll pick them up and then all the insides will be sloshing around inside the skin, and it's going to be grim, I know it is. I'm going to have to wash my hands and all sorts before I go. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to tidy that up, then we're going to go and hand CVs in. Then we are going to go and meet Toby and celebrate his birthday, because that is what it is today. So, I will see you as and when. I have come to two realisations on this walk. First of all, it's much hotter than I thought it would be. Don't know if you can tell. And secondly, I will forever be in awe of people who can ride a bike with no hands. I mean, sometimes it's a bit show-offy, but other times I think to myself, good on you, well done, wish I could do that. Just thought I'd share those little thoughts with you. Well, that's the jobs applied for. Managed to get two applied for. I haven't been given two already. That would be astounding luck. Applied for the bar job, which I think I mentioned it was a bar job, but I applied for that anyway, and man, just seemed quite good, so I'm feeling quite positive about that. And also applied for one in a fancy dress shop. Just like on a whim, I was just walking around, going to the bus stop. Actually, I was walking to the bus stop to get on the bus to come up to see Toby. And while I was there, not while I was at the bus stop, but I was walking past it, and I saw, the sign in the shop window saying, "Oh, part-time worker wanted." So I went in, and like the sign wasn't very specific, so I just went in and said, "Could you, tell me a bit more about what this is?" And she proceeded to tell me absolutely everything, everything about the job. And then she was asking me about sort of my flexibility, how free am I to work, and all that sort of stuff. So I told her everything I could. I think I probably flooded her with as much information as she flooded me with hers, and left her that's cool. That is nice. I like that. That is cool. That is brilliant. It's going to keep me smiling all day now. I've been meaning to do that actually, because do you know what that might be right. I'll get back to my job story in a minute, but I follow on Twitter, as I do on YouTube and Facebook, Corey Williams from SMP Films and his girlfriend Katus17. I follow them on Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and Corey posts up every now and then this, I think he calls it, like, it's called hashtag tweet and complete and retweet or something like that. And one of the things he did was just like on 6 scraps of paper or whatever, just write a nice message and leave it somewhere. When you're going out, just as you're out and around, you don't have to give it to anyone necessarily, just put it on a bench or something, just a nice message. And I think that's what that was, whether it was as a result of that or whether it's just niceness, I don't know, but either way it was quite nice. It's going to keep me smiling now for the rest of the day. But as I was saying, back to the job, so I left my CV with her, and I'm feeling quite good about that one as well, so hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't think I'll ever stop finding it fascinating. Basically, people who are just nosy. Okay, no, nosy is probably the wrong way. Let me give it context, then it will make sense. So I was walking down the street here, and there was a police officer was walking out of a shop. I thought, fine, you know, whatever. And as I was walking past, suddenly like the shopkeepers were following him out, shouting across the road. And I thought, alright, well, what's going on here? But just carried on walking, didn't really look round, just carried on. And then I noticed that there was a man on the opposite side of the street shouting back. Then he crossed the road quite firmly. All the time I was still walking forwards, like really only paying attention to my peripheral vision. Then once I walked past, it was like, no need to be bothered. And I could hear this shouting going on behind. Bear in mind I had my iPod in as well. I could hear this shouting going on behind me, but just carried on walking. And as I was walking forward, I couldn't help but notice that everyone in front of me was looking behind me at what was going on. And, you know, I appreciate, you know, it probably doesn't happen often, so, or at least I'd like to believe it doesn't really happen that often. And, you know, you look around and go, oh, that's curious, what's going on there? But they were just staring, like gawping, open-mouthed at it. And then a police car went past and another police officer was kind of running past as well to investigate. And like, everyone was just kind of looking at it, wondering what's going on. And you know, I appreciate that everyone's curious and stuff, but it didn't make sense to me. You know, once you've seen what's going on, that's fine. You don't need to pay attention to it. Listen, you know. But I mean, everyone just kind of listens to, you know, eavesdrops on conversations and stuff. Everyone does that. But you know, you don't need to stand there and gawp at it. You know, the men are probably having a tough enough time as it is. You know, having an argument while the police are there trying to control it. Don't put them on the spot just by staring at them. You know, it's weird how that happens. Charlie Brooker made a whole episode of his Black Mirror series on that sort of thing. I think it was the second episode of the second series of Black Mirror, where basically there was this girl and this woman who was in really visible distress. And I know it's not technically the same sort of thing, and also it's dramatised and stuff, but it's kind of, Charlie Brooker wrote Black Mirror based on what he observes, and yeah, how, like, it's his reaction to what he observes and where he foresees that things could end up in the end. You know, watch them. I think they're on 4OD, 4OD.com or whatever. Just Google 4OD and it will take you there. I think they're all on there, so you can watch them all and see what I'm on about. But he basically wrote this episode well, and I don't want to give too much away because of the plot and stuff, and if you do watch it I don't want to spoil it. But this woman is in clearly visible distress, and everyone she walks past just films her. When she walks up to them asking for help, they're just filming her. Don't say anything, don't do anything, just constantly filming on their phones or their cameras, whatever they happen to have. And I was sat there going, hang on, is this an attack on people like me who just kind of walk around filming stuff like this? And then, you know, I realised after a while that actually it probably isn't so much what I do, because I just walk along doing this, and you know, it's all about me, as they say, and that's kind of it. But I think what he was writing about was how people were more interested in maybe in not helping, but instead still trying to think how to word it, because it seems like people care more about being able to get something from a tragedy than actually help with it. Like I say, this girl was in clearly visible distress. She was upset for the whole time, for the entire duration of the episode, and everyone was just filming her. And you know, people were just filming, and then, you know, the implicit meaning, or the implicit implication, sorry, being that it would have ended up on YouTube and people would have gotten thousands and thousands and maybe millions of hits of people watching this woman in distress. And people are far happier about filming something and uploading it to YouTube than they are about actually intervening. I think that's kind of where it's going to, but check it out and you'll see what I mean. You'll see how that kind of relates to what I was talking about further up there. Also, I saw a driving tuition company called Corsa You Can. I thought that was funny. I start noticing other learner cars out on the road now, probably because I'm learning. But like some of the names of like tuition schools for driving are actually pretty damn hilarious, and I think Corsa You Can was one of the best. My dad said that if I was to start one up, I should call it L for leather, which seemed quite cool. Which was certainly one of his cooler jokes anyway. Should just mention I had a celebratory monster. What a wonderful, nice old day that was. It was really good just to spend the day with Toby and just not do a whole lot. Really, we wandered about and chatted for like hours in Denison Park. And it was all very, very good. So, you know, happy birthday to you, Toby. 22. So, you know, well done, I guess. And actually, there's an update for you. Not for you, Toby, but an update from me to everyone watching. So, as you know, earlier on, I handed in a bunch of CVs for a job, and the pub, O'Neill's, rang me back like a few hours later and went, "Oh, don't suppose you can come in for an interview tomorrow, can you?" I've got a job interview tomorrow, as well as a driving lesson. I am absolutely cacking it, to put it kind of politely, I suppose. I've got a job interview. Simple as that. Just hand it in and be done with it. Why has that never happened before? I mean, either way, it's fantastic. And ever since I was younger, I've quite wanted to do this sort of bar work and stuff like that. I remember seeing this bartender when I was on holiday once. I was very young. I must have been like 5, 6 maybe. We was on holiday all around the pool, and you can see the bar from the pool. And this barman was just like juggling bottles of alcohol and throwing bottles around and stuff like that, and making all the fancy cocktails, throwing things around and shaking them and stuff like that. And I remember seeing that and going, that looks really cool. I want to be able to do that, or I want to work behind a bar so that I could be able to do that. Obviously, if I get this job at the pub, I'm not going to be throwing their bottles of alcohol around. That is probably not the good thing to do. But it's certainly going to be thoroughly interesting. I don't know what to do for a job interview. Tomorrow's going to be my first ever job interview, like proper interview. When for Coca-Cola we had to do like a workshop type thing where it was all running around and being active and happy and all that. But I've never had like a proper job interview before. What do you do for a job interview? Like, you know, what do you do? What do you say? What do I do? What do I say? I don't know. Like, why must you do that? Just because you're in an Aston? He is in an Aston Martin. But why? I dressed smartly, you know, in a suit. Other than that, I'm not really sure. On the whole, though, good news. So let's think about this. Yeah, I dress smartly. Hello, how are you? Be polite. That's fine. Can do all that. Don't swear. That's probably a big one. Don't do that. I don't anyway. But, you know, oh, my voice cracking. Oh, that better not cause problems for me tomorrow. That would be terrible if it does. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Damn it. But there's nothing to be scared of, really, is there? I'm having a chat with someone. That's all it is. It's not an interview. It's just having a chat with someone. You know, I've met someone new and they want to get to know me, because that's all an interview is, isn't it? That's what a job interview is. That's the manager or whoever's in charge trying to get a handle for who you are, to see whether you're right for the job. That's all it is. They're just trying to find out about you. It's not an interview. It's just a getting to know you chat. That's all it is. So as long as I remember that, I'm there to just have a chat. Be confident. No need to be nervous. It's just a chat. I can talk to people. It'll be fine. What I want to do is I want to try and get home. I mean, it's quite late actually. It's coming up to 9 o'clock. In fact, I think it might have surpassed 9 o'clock. Let me check. Yes, it's 20 past 9. It's later than I had hoped, because I wanted to get home and talk to Mum and Dad about, like, you know, what to do. What should I do in an interview? I'm sure they'll still be up, but who knows? I'll be fine. I know I will. I'll be fine. But what I need to make sure of is that I'm not just fine and that I pass. I asked Jay for some advice. Jay, what should I do in this interview? Give me some advice. Do you know what he said? Pass the interview. Thanks. You know, pearls of wisdom straight from the mouth of Jay the Wise. Pass the interview. Good. Cheers. I'll bear that in mind. You know, there was me. I was going to walk into the interview with the aim of just ruining it. I was going to go in there and I was going to flip the tables over and pour drink all over the manager. But no, you've reminded me. Actually, I need to go in there and get a job. So, thank you, Jay. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to try and win. I'm going to try and beat it. Thank you for that. I've injured my foot somehow. The heel of my left foot really hurts. I think it's the shoes, really. I mean, these shoes that I have are old and they need to go. It's my red Converse. Look, there we go. You can kind of see. I mean, my shadow's in the way and they're not red because of the light. But they're old. I've had them for over a year now, and they're falling apart, which Converse tend to do after about a year. The canvas gets worn and stuff like that. Oh, my leg hurts now as well. What is this? On the left hand side as well. It's like my left side is getting paralysed. Typical, innit? Something starts going right, then all of a sudden the body goes no. Paralysis down. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake you. You're on the right hand side of my body. You're on the side that works. But yeah, the heel on my left foot and the top of my left leg really hurt for some reason. Really ache. I mean, the leg injury is entirely unrelated to the shoes. I don't see how that happens. But yeah, back to the shoes. Right, they're old, so the soles are thin. I mean, soles on Converse are quite thin anyway. But these are other shoe types are available as well. But these are getting thinner every time I wear them. And I think that's what it is now. I think there's no support from my left heel, so it's just hurting because there's no support basically. Right, I am nearly home. So I'm gonna wrap this up here for tonight. It's a really nice night out actually. It's a nice night for walking in. I think if I didn't have to be home, I would have walked back from Toby's like I did that night around winter time, around Christmas. Do you remember? I can't remember what the occasion was. Maybe it was just for New Year's or something. We'd been out having. I don't think it was for New Year. I can't remember whatever it was. We'd been out drinking and. I walked home like the 2 hours or whatever it was in the snow and stuff from Toby's to my house. It feels like that night again because it wasn't particularly cold that night. It was, I mean it was because it was winter and it was snowy and all that, but it wasn't cold as such. It was a nice night. Anyway, it's a nice night tonight is what I'm getting at. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for another vlog. Wish me luck. No doubt I'll be asking for your luck tomorrow as well, and I'm sure I'll let you know how it goes as well. So that's for both driving and for my job. Fingers crossed. See you tomorrow. Bye.